It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and we are back with another bottle of beer from Browar Staropolskie in Poland. Cost me £2.50 for this bottle. Bit of a gruff voice today, my apologies. Not so much blocked up in the nose, but just more, bit rough in the throat. Now, I believe I could have done a little bit of research. I like to go into my beer reviews kind of like maybe not doing a lot of research, because if I do that, then I'm really not doing much, if that makes sense, if I do a lot of research on a beer. So I'm going to take a guess that this is an unfiltered Polish lager. And I can see there, filtrowane. So they put that there. Normally when a brewery puts that on the bottle like that, it generally means unfiltered. It's going to be slightly hazy. It's 5.5% ABV and it's called Polski Chmiel, PRL. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. I love these Polish bottles. I say Polish bottles, they're swing top bottles. They've been around forever, haven't they? Yes, look at this. So it definitely is unfiltered. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Picture there of a woman driving a car with a wind in her hair. Lovely blonde Polish lady. One finger white head. Good levels of carbonation in the glass. Unfiltered. Slightly hazy. Not much in the way of sediment in the bottom of the glass, but that's not what this style is all about. This is going to be an unfiltered lager with some great malt taste. This style of beer has really been kind of brought back to life with the likes of Stella Artois bringing out their unfiltered. You've got kind of, in another sense, but a bit more distant because it's a different beer style. Kronenbourg Blanc. Kronenbourg Blanc is a hazy looking beer. There seems to be a resurgence around Europe and America for unfiltered beer, which is great because all of the flavour in the beer is in that kind of unfilteredness. If you wanted to make this beer bright, shiny, then you're chucking all the good stuff about this beer down the drain. So, good carbonation. Let's get the aroma then. A big malty Polish bomb of a beer. Almost wort-like. Sweet wort flavours coming through. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh. This reminds me of being in a bar on the Holland-Belgium border, being served in this bar by a lady in her 80s. And I was took to this specific bar because it was a traditional Belgian stroke Holland thing where, let me talk to you about the flavour of the beer first and then I'll get back to my story. it's sweet and wort-like without much of a hop profile at all. It's leaning over to being like kind of like an Ovaltine type malt drink that has very little hops in it, but is sweet. And I was about to say I was about to use the word Moorish. I don't know. Because the beer's leaning into being quite sweet, it's lost an element of its crispness. Not every beer needs to be a Pilsner. Not every beer needs to be a Helles Lager. But there's a reason why Helles Lager and Pilsners are as popular as they are. And that's because they're crisp and bitter and refreshing. This is more it's like the next stage of the work process. It's like so close to being just wort. It's just sweet and biscuity and malty. If you're not a fan of bitterness whatsoever in beer, but you like the taste of a malt beer, then this beer will be right for you. You'll love this beer. I'm going to use the word traditional. I'm going to go back to this story I was telling you. So the reason I went to this bar with the owner of Brewery de Dr. van der Coroner, Frank I think his name was. And it was the video where I was driving that Volkswagen Beetle about. Some of you might remember that. But he specifically took me to this Belgian bar because it was of utmost importance, because it was like tradition. It was like, these bars have been around forever. They're run by old ladies, mostly old ladies, and they serve very traditional beer. And I remember drinking this lager, and he was trying to explain to me that this lager is all over Belgium. It's not heard of, really, it's not talked about. It's just what the old men drink. The old men drink this style of lager. And the minute I took my first sip of this beer, it kind of reminded me of that old lady in the Belgian bar selling this unheard of but everywhere Belgian lager. What I'm trying to say is, it's very traditional, kind of old-fashioned if you like. Do I like it? I'm not sure if I'd buy another one. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I've had better beers from this brewery. I've had some of their decent lagers and they're very refreshing and very crisp. I would drink more Browar Staropolskie beers, but I don't think I would buy this one again. So there's a look at the label. I'm going to rate it. I'm going to give it on a personal level, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Really not my thing. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.